In 1904, a Japanese journalist invented a way to track money using nothing but a pencil and a notebook. No software, no automation, no modern tools. 120 years later, after thousands of budgeting apps have launched and quietly disappeared, that same paper method is still sold in stationery stores across Japan today. There are 8 more habits just like it, working quietly in the background of ordinary Japanese life. None of them involve luck. None of them involve stress. And together, they explain something most modern personal finance keeps getting wrong. Picture 2 people who start in exactly the same place. Same age, same city, same starting salary. Elena and Ryan graduate the same year, take entry-level jobs at the same company, and for 2 years their bank balances look almost identical. Then, something quietly starts pulling them apart, and it is not a bonus, an inheritance, or a lucky trade. Elena starts borrowing ideas from a culture 8,000 miles away. Nothing dramatic, no lifestyle overhaul, just small, almost boring habits rooted in old Japanese practices around money, waste, and restraint. Ryan keeps doing what most people do, earning a little more, spending a little more, staying just as stretched as before. 9 years later, the gap between them is not close. And every habit that created it is something anyone could start using today, with the money they already have. Habit 1 starts with a notebook. Every night, Elena writes her spending down by hand. No app, no automatic sync. This is kakeibo. Invented in 1904 by journalist Hani Motoko, it was originally designed to help Japanese housewives manage household money. Over a century later, it has outlasted wave after wave of budgeting software. The method forces one question before every purchase. Do I need this? Or do I just want it? That single pause is the entire system. And it is the first thing that quietly starts separating Elena from Ryan. There's a word Japanese parents say to kids who leave food on their plate. Mottainai. It roughly translates to, what a waste. But it carries far more weight than the translation suggests. It is a deep regret over letting something of value go unused, whether that is food, time, or money. Elena applies it everywhere. The gym membership she stopped using, the subscription she forgot to cancel. Each one quietly triggers the same discomfort. Not guilt exactly, but a nagging sense that value is leaking out unnoticed. Environmentalist Wangari Maathai later built an entire global campaign around this single word. Elena just uses it to plug the small leaks nobody else notices. In Okinawa, elders say a phrase before every meal. Hara hachibu. Stop eating at 80% full. It is one of the most studied longevity habits in the world. Elena borrows that same math for her paycheck. She does not spend up to 100% of what she earns. She stops at 80 and lets the rest sit as margin, money with no job assigned to it yet. That margin is what protects her. The next time life throws something unexpected at her. Ryan does not have that margin. And that is about to matter more than he realizes. After World War II, Toyota's factories did not get better through one big transformation. They improved through Kaizen. Thousands of tiny changes, made continuously, mostly by workers on the line, not executives in a boardroom. Elena applies the same principle to her savings rate. She does not try to fix her finances overnight. Every few months, she raises her automatic savings by 1%, small enough she barely feels it in her paycheck. 3 years in, that 1%, repeated quietly, has compounded into a completely different number. In Japanese, the word for savings, chokin, is not treated like an afterthought. It comes first, not last. Elena flipped an order most people never think to question. Most people earn, spend, and save whatever happens to be left over, which is usually nothing. Elena pays her future self the moment her paycheck lands, before a single bill touches her account. It sounds almost too obvious to count as a strategy, but the order money moves in is the entire difference between a habit and a hope. Ryan says he will start saving once he earns more. Elena already knows that is not how this works. Wabi-sabi is the Japanese appreciation for things that are worn, imperfect, and still fully functional. A chipped bowl, a repaired chair, a car with a few miles on it. Where most consumer culture treats used as slightly embarrassing, Wabi-sabi treats it as honest. Elena drives a 5-year-old car with a small dent she never bothered fixing. It still runs, still gets her to work. And the money she did not spend chasing a newer version of something that already worked keeps compounding quietly in the background. At the end of every year, Japanese households take part in osoji, a deep clean of the entire home, meant to close out the year with nothing left unresolved. Elena does a financial version of it every December. She goes through every subscription, every recurring charge, every account she forgot existed. Most people are quietly paying for things they do not remember signing up for. Elena simply refuses to carry that forward into a new year. That is 8 habits. The 9th one is not really about money at all, and it might be the one that makes all the others actually stick. Ikigai roughly translates to a reason for being, the thing that gets someone out of bed in the morning, separate from a paycheck. Elena spends differently once she is honest about hers. She spends without hesitation on the handful of things that genuinely connect to what she cares about. Everything else, the things people buy just to feel caught up, gets far less power over her. Purpose does not just make life feel better. It quietly filters out spending that was never really about the thing itself. The last habit is the quietest of all. Hansei means honest self-reflection. The same discipline that sits underneath Kaizen, built into everything from personal growth to factory floors in Japan. Once a month, Elena looks back without judgment. Where did the money actually go, and what would she change? It takes 15 minutes and it costs nothing. And it is the habit that keeps the other 8 from quietly falling apart, the way most resolutions do by February. None of these 9 habits made headlines. None of them involved a stock tip, a side hustle, or a single risky bet. They are small, almost boring, borrowed from a culture that has spent over a century treating patience like a skill instead of a personality trait. Ryan is still waiting for the moment his income finally outpaces his spending. Elena stopped waiting for that moment 9 years ago. She just kept stacking small, quiet decisions on top of each other until the gap became impossible to close. Wealth built this way does not announce itself. It does not need luck, and it does not need stress. It just needs to be repeated, quietly, for longer than everyone else is willing to wait. If this is the kind of quiet math you want more of, subscribe. Every week, this channel breaks down exactly how ordinary people build wealth, without luck, without stress, and without anyone noticing.